Okay, we'll call this Unified School District regular board meeting on May 6, 2021 at 5:30 PM to order. And with that, Kylie, can we get a roll call?
Sure. Zopara,
I'm present.
Rick Raleigh,
Here?
Wilson So,
Here.
Dennis Bender,
Here.
Adeline Blassingame. Present.
Okay. If just join me in the pledge, please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America, and to the republic it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, moving on to number 3, we'll have a moment of silence at this time in remembrance of the Apple Valley Unified School District family member no longer with us, and that's Richard Weingard. So please join me in a moment of silence. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, moving on to public comments. We'll start with Joel. Lewis, you're up. If I can remind you, I have a time limit of 3 minutes, but take your time.
Hi, thank you. Is this on? Is it on? Okay. Thanks for the opportunity to address the board this evening. I just wanted to let you know that in the last several months, the negotiating teams from both the district and AVUSD have really.
Yeah, take your mask off.
Yeah. All right, no problem. I want to let you know the last several months that the negotiating teams from the district and AVUSD have really worked well together in formulating and putting together the new contract that we have. Especially negotiating several key items such as the monetary compensation and prep time for elementary school teachers. We do have one item left to tackle, and that is the retirement benefits, our healthcare coverage for people that are getting ready to retire. We are significantly grateful that the board and our school district have recognized that this is an important item and good for both the teachers and our school district. We are grateful for the initial offer of retirement benefits being available at the age of 60. We feel strongly that this benefit should be able to be utilized at the age of 55 for several reasons. Although most teachers do not retire at the age of 55, it is important that the benefit becomes available at that age with the appropriate amount of years of service, which is currently being negotiated at 25 years. We want our teachers to have that option so they feel they do not have to hang on for healthcare benefits only. Or if a teacher's burned out or they're just ready to go and they're just coming to work every day just for healthcare and hanging on for 5 or 6 more years. We also have teachers that may have circumstances beyond their control, such as health issues or have to take care of a significant other. Currently, most districts in California do offer this option with yet less years of service and at the age of 55. This will also be an attractive feature in recruiting teachers into our district. We want our district to be the district of choice when new teachers are looking for a job. It will also make the current teachers feel valued and secure when it comes time to make the decision to retire or not. We feel that we have presented some strong options that would be beneficial for our teachers in our district that would exercise the option of retirement benefits that begin at age 55. With one of those options being 1 year of retirement benefits for every 4 years of service and capping it at 7 years max. That would give an individual the option of retiring at 55 if they needed to and give them enough time to plan accordingly as needed. And it also wouldn't have it to where you do have to have that person on the healthcare for up to 10 years. But we feel strongly about the age of 55 and we feel strongly about what we presented, and hopefully this can be negotiated, and I want to thank you in advance and look forward to getting this negotiated in a timely manner. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Joel, for your comments. We have 2 others, and I have a note here from Kylie that wants to provide time. So we have Joshua or Shelley, which would rather go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And he's going to utilize all the time for both.
Oh, okay, okay. Go ahead, Josh, thank you.
Dear Board of Trustees of Apple Valley School District, I would like to first thank Mr. Joshua Verholtz for reading this statement to you on behalf and ask that you please excuse my absence. Unfortunately, due to the COVID situation, I'm unable to attend physically and truly wish I could be here myself. But since a person in my capacity commutes to several different communities and school districts and their sites, it was decided we shelter in place for not only our own safety, but the safety of others we may encounter. Hopefully, I will be able to attend one of these meetings in person in the very near future as more restricted and lifted. However, I will say I will hope to do so under better circumstances. My name is Grayling Eshin, and I serve as the assigned labor relations representative of the California School Employees Association of Chapter 828 of Apple Valley, which is also more commonly known as the labor rep and or the bargaining agent. I provide resources and assistance to 5 different local chapters, and I've worked with a couple of dozen within both San Bernardino and Riverside counties. Today, I would like to discuss the local here, CSA Chapter 828 of Apple Valley. I've been assigned to this local for almost 2 years, and I can say with confidence that I enjoyed working with it and meeting some of the most caring and dedicated people I've ever met. The reason why I'm sharing this statement today is because of a deep concern I have for the members I represent that serve this community. We are currently bargaining the effects of the minimum wage increase per the law, and unfortunately, this should be called what it is, which is a shameful discussion to have this in the first place. The law concerning this has been in place for several years, so it has not been a secret that recently became an issue. The fact is, everyone knew that it was coming, and I'm not only shocked, but also appalled that the district was not prepared for this. What makes this worse is that this clearly shows the lack of respect and appreciation for the hardworking dedication that the classified employees have continuously shown for this district. Through the years of neglect and lack of planning, the district simply views the issues as just addressing it with the smallest percentage of the membership, as if other 90% of the people are nothing worth having consideration for. Minimum wage is designed for the purpose of assuring that the workers have a livable wage. Regardless of anyone's personal opinion of the law, we can all agree that the prices of goods and services just do not increase for the lowest income earners, but for all of us. The mutual agreed to provisions of the collective bargaining agreement set the expectations of the consistency be maintained with such changes like these occur. I know this may be portrayed to you as a simplistic problem that can easily be resolved by only addressing those straddling the poverty line with low wages. But this is not true and is insulting to the people of the district, is purposely trying to exclude, and here's why. One, most districts to have this issue because they do not pay that low of wage for those who do fall just under the requirement amount by law. It is minimal cost to readjust to become they were close to it. For instance, out of the 5 local districts, only 2 did not meet the requirements for minimum wage as of January 1st of this year. On their salary schedule, out of the 2, 1 is here in Apple Valley, and the other is a small district that only fell behind less than 1% and did not hesitate to agree to adhere to the collective bargaining agreement requirements of the salary schedule consistency. We have an agreement in place with the district that assures consistency in pay with an agreed to hierarchy structure. The district has communicated several times that you, as a governing body, do not care about it and do not want to honor our agreement, which has been in place for several years. It has been very frustrating and exhausting receiving repetitive responses providing nothing, as if you appointed a representative that does not have the ability to negotiate on their behalf of the district in good faith. We will purposely include salary increase to help migrate the minimum wage issues that we are told there is nothing to do out. It has been agreed to give something to another employee group. Being dishonest in bargaining is a violation of the government code, and having people come to the bargaining table that does not have the ability to negotiate or to make necessary decisions to fulfill the obligation to the bargaining in good faith is not how this works. There's a lot more than I could say, but I know there is time or a limit. I would like to respectfully of this time, Mr. Verholtz's voice, but I simply ask you to consider the following as public servants of this community. Does it make you proud that you're, as a governing body of this district, that minimum wage is ever an issue? Are you proud that your representative essentially state that you do not want to honor what we have agreed in on the collective bargaining agreement and truly open admitting that you were the district to violate the agreement? Are you proud that this is being done to your neighbors, constituents, and the people who have been worked the front line before, during, and will continue after COVID? We took pride in being part of the solution, and we were all in charted waters with a pandemic that literally stops the world as we knew it. It was the classified employees that continued to serve the public, risking not only their lives, but the health of the lives of their loved ones through the possible transmission, while the luxury of while others were working from home. When this has continued, the message from the district was that it was not all hands on deck issued, but all classified on deck issue was left many feeling as if they were disposable or unappreciated. I ask you not only to consider this question I have posed to you today, but what is also said by the local CSA leaders as well. Please consider walking in a mile in their shoes and how you would feel about all of this. I ask you, the district, your representatives, to not only bargain in good faith, but to do so by being prepared where we are, as CSA, do not represent
Josh, can I interrupt you there? So you've gone about seven minutes on that. Are you have any more to go? You can.
3 pages, but
3 more pages? Okay.
No, it's- time's up.
Yeah.
It's always 3 minutes,
But you can
please.
go ahead. Just go ahead and finish. We
Okay.
don't really have any other speakers, so I just,
okay, that
Sorry,
they need to check in with you first. Why send them if they need to check in with you every day we meet? If it is not you, believe it should not be done in this way. Please appoint someone who is authorized to make the decisions on your behalf so we can stop the wasting of time and resources and move forward in the process. It should not take weeks to get a response or a counter proposal with a statement of we need further direction or we do not agree without a proposed remedy that progressively moves towards a reasonable solution. We should not feel we are negotiating with ourselves. I hope this message, as well as others, resonates with you and aside you in making the best decision and that serves the entire community, not just one or someone. I ask that you do not fall for one of the biggest mistruths about dishonest statements that are used with discussing CACA negotiations. The fact is, teachers and classified are not the same, and we do not involve ourselves in their negotiations, and we would expect the same because of those differences. But this idea that CACA is asking for equality does not work with as often portrayed as if. What we ask for is necessary means of dollars for dollars when using percentages. Who the earliest retirement incentive was primarily for, and the discussion about minimum wage on reinforcing the fact that two are not the same because classified is considerably cheaper in comparison, approximately 2.5 times cheaper if you were to comparable the cost of 1% for classified. Just like it is not the same for teachers in comparison with administration. And using this type of rhetoric is not but divisive. We had tremendous respect for our union's brothers and sisters and the teachers union, but the illogical applies to oranges comparison. Oranges comparison needs to stop. Everyone plays a vital role in the success of the district, and proposally trying to pit one employee group against another, not only counterproductive, but also serves as a distraction to what everyone should be concentrating on, that is the students in our community. I thank you, thank you for your time, and Mr. Verholtz for only reading the statement on my behalf, but also serving as one of the many examples of the hardworking and caring classified employees of this district who has shown nothing but respect and dedication to this district and community. And please remember, like the human body, you can have a physical or mental ailment and be considered healthy. However, neglecting that ailment can make the situation more complex and can cause other issues within the overall health of the body. The support for this body, we can call the district, is the classified. And these employees are relying on the governing board, the brain of the body, to provide leadership by ensuring that every part is cared for like the other. And if it is not, the illness of the frustration and discontent will spread, making it harder to treat the cure. And please do what is necessary to heal the body before it gets worse. Thank you, Grayling Eashan.
Thank you, Josh, for your comments. Okay, we have no further, we do.
I have a comment.
Excuse me?
I do have a comment.
Oh,
Mr. Parra.
oh, we have some more requests to speak, if we can get those.
Okay,
No?
go ahead then.
It's not closed session.
Oh, okay.
It'll be after.
Go
So-
ahead,
That's before closing.
Maria, you have a comment?
Okay, the board would like to direct our chief negotiator to compile data for us to have from districts offering retirement benefits. We want you to include all appropriate data points in order to inform us of the potential cost of implementing various retirement strategies. Thank you.
Mr. Conrad? That
Yeah,
would be your-
absolutely. I think that's totally appropriate. The negotiation teams, as Joel mentioned, have been working really well together. And I think it'd be a good idea. I know Chris, their chief negotiator, was up here last time and he shared some comparables with some other county information. And I think it'd be great. Maybe I reach out to him and see if we can set something up, maybe the two teams. It would be very helpful in the negotiation table. I think, Joel, I see Leslie out there. If we could agree on, I think, the data, the assumptions, the costs, all that, and I'd happily bring that back to the board to get some specific direction.
Thank you, because we will need direct information, very clear information from the districts that the union is speaking about and other districts around, so that we'll have information to make informed decisions.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you
Thank you.
for the comments. Okay, before we move on to closed session, we have some reports from the students from Granite Hills and Apple Valley High. Are they
No,
here? or is it-
that's after.
No,
They
no,
know to
no,
come
no,
after.
they have to
They're
do it
gonna
after.
come after. I didn't want
after-
to
Yeah.
make them wait, so. Okay, with that, we will move on to closed session, but before we do, I want to read what we're going to go into closed session for. Item number 1, pupil personnel annual review, AR 36, AR 35, 2021. Number 2, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment, transfer, leave, title, sophisticated, and classified employees. Number 3, public employee appointment, resignation, retirement, reduction. Number 4, conference of litigation, government code section 54956.9, 1813952, CIVDS 1907172, CIVDS 2011183, CIVDS 2022956, CIVDS 2023366, Government Code Section 54954, subsection C, 54956.9, subsection D. 2, E and 1, anticipated litigation, 3 cases, 2018, 1907, 2020, 2105, 2020, 2021, 06. Conference with labor negotiator, Dustin Conrad, employee organization, Apple Valley Unified School Teachers Association. Number 6, conference with labor negotiator, Dustin Conrad, employee organization, California School Employees Association. Number 7, conference with labor negotiator, Trinae Nelson, employee organization, unrepresented. And finally, number 8, superintendent evaluation. With that, I'll ask for a motion to go into closed.
session.
Okay, we have a
I'll second that.
motion by Bender, second by Opara. Is there, everybody, any opposition to that motion? Hearing none, that'll be the order. So we'll, at 5:51, we'll go into closed session.
It's like production in here.
I know. Kind of weird watching yourself on the big screen there.
I think so. I'm glad that, well, I see. You're on the top.
Good.
Are we good?
You're good. You're good.
Oh, okay. We'll call the meeting back to order at 6:25. And with that, we'll move on to item 2, which is reports from student representatives. And first up is Granite Hills. And it's Erin. Good. She's back.
Yeah. She's back.
Can I see her?
Let's,
Thank you. Good evening, board members, Superintendent Nelson, and attendees. Even though the school year will soon be coming to an end, the past month has been full of in-person events and planning. We recently began state testing for juniors and AP testing for all of our students in both the online and in-person format. AP testing has taken on different formats this year, though, and will continue into early June. In spite of this, we are confident that our students will achieve amazing things on these tests and will be pleased with the results.
We want the people streaming to hear you.
You're okay.
We can.
Okay, you're welcome. Not only have we been busy testing, but we've been very busy having and planning many events. We recently hosted the first successful Mr. Cougar competition in 5 years. Mr. Cougar is a competition for our senior boys that consists of talents like formal wear and showing off their talents. Our 2021 Mr. Cougar is Kumar Chauhan. We could not ask for a better Mr. Cougar, and he holds the title proudly. We also recently distributed seniors caps, gowns, and graduation apparel like cords and sables. The day we distributed these items was also signing day, so our wonderful counselors and teachers celebrated any seniors who committed to continuing their education after high school. On this same day, we received celebratory yard signs that were paid for by the district. On behalf of everyone at Granite, thank you for purchasing these signs for our seniors. In order to celebrate our seniors even more in the coming weeks, we are planning a senior sunset, senior dinner, and senior awards night. Each of these events will bring our seniors together and provide them with some closure for this year until our graduation ceremony, which will be socially distanced at our football stadium. We once again want to thank the board for all of the work they put into making sure that was possible. As this year is ending, though, we do have to look to the future. So we recently held elections for ASB officers. The elections went well, and I'm so excited to introduce you to the new GC president at the next meeting. As for our sports teams, both boys and girls soccer won first place titles in Desert Sky League. They will be competing for individual titles today and will begin CIF next week. Both boys and girls, both girls and boys tennis won first place. I apologize. Boys and girls soccer also held titles. This was the 3rd consecutive win for the girls and their 15th consecutive win overall. Our boys team have won 9 overall. Both of our baseball teams and our softball teams are currently trying to make playoffs and have a great chance at succeeding. Track and field have their first meet today, so we're wishing them much luck, even though we know they don't need it. Our basketball team is currently 2-2 and about to begin their 2nd round of DSL play. Even though there aren't as many players on any of our teams this year, the ones who are competing are working even harder to make up for it. Overall, it's been a great month of planning, playing, and succeeding. Thank you all for your time this evening, and always remember, maroon and gray lead the way.
very good.
Thank you, Aaron. Good as always.
Good to see you back.
Next up, Apple Valley High. Is it, did I get it right? Mazel? Maisel.
Who is also one of their valedictorians. Is that correct? Yes.
Valedictorian,
Yeah.
one of them.
Yes.
How many were there?
Do you know how
I
many
think
there
it's
were?
like 13. Oh, just kidding, 12.
12. Thank you.
Well, you're
Thank you.
in great company then.
That's right.
You can take your mask off.
Yeah.
Thank you. Look, hold it on.
Be easier to breathe.
I am so sorry. My speech did not load. It is not loading.
Well, we'll see how good you are if you just want to wing it.
Whatever's comfortable. Just speak to this.
Is it because you're not online? Does it say you're
I
offline?
think it's loading right now.
Okay.
Sorry. Okay,
You're fine.
thank you.
You can sing for us because we know you do that well as well. Erin, do you want to come stand with it? No. Give her a little support, Erin.
Good evening, esteemed board members. I'm very happy to be back reporting to you all. Our first month back in-person learning has been chock full of exciting events. Skills USA and SLC awards took place, and many of our students received gold, silver, and bronze. Our National Honor Society chapter hosted an extremely successful... I'm sorry?
Don't worry. It's okay.
Kara's granddaughter just said hi to you.
Oh.
We'll see.
I'm sorry. Wow, I'm so sorry. Our National Honor Society chapter hosted an extremely successful hygiene product drive this past week. They are donating the hygiene products to the Victor Valley Domestic Abuse Center. HOSA collected chargers to donate to patients at the St. Mary Medical Center. Our sports continue to work hard to finish out their season strong. Our principal, Ms. Howell, continues to host trivia nights to keep even those who chose to stay in distance learning engaged. ASB hosted a senior sunrise on campus that gave seniors a taste of a normal senior year. Yesterday was our cap and gown pickup for the graduating seniors, and we were also given yard signs to give the seniors a taste. I'm so sorry. It has been a busy day.
You have presented many times to us. We know. It's okay.
We also had our ASB interviews today, as well as last week and next week we are hosting ASB interviews again. Our winners of our virtual talent show received their prizes, and they're very excited to. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. They're very excited to continue to show their talents. Next week on May 13th, we are having our senior sunrise, where a movie will be shown on our soccer field. Next week, our Sensations Choir will also be having their first in-person recital of the year, and the week after, we will be having our senior recital. We are having our senior awards on May 19th, our senior dinner on May 16th, and our graduation May 25th. Overall, I am very excited for what we have in store for this last semester and for my last month of high school. Thank you for hearing me out today, and always remember that Sun Devil pride is contagious.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, you did a good job, like always, Apple Valley High and Granite. I always look forward to it, so thank you.
Good job.
Okay, moving right along. Number 3, do we have a report from California School Employees Association, CES?
Do you want to excuse the students if they would like to
You
go?
already did.
Oh,
The high school student, if they need to go for,
they know they can leave. You're not going to hold you hostage here.
they will wait to be excused. We know this.
Okay, you can. You're excused. Thank you.
Yes. We want to thank the students and good luck. Okay.
And
Good
they'll
night,
be back
ladies.
next
Okay,
week.
is
They'll be back
CSA
one more time.
here?
One more time.
Yeah.
Good.
Yes. CSA?
Oh, I'm sorry. You're up.
Hello and good evening, and thank you for giving me an opportunity to speak to you this evening. I'm hoping to give you a little bit of insight to our perspective on the mandated minimum wage increase. In good faith, we negotiated our agreement. We negotiated and agreed to our contract. We do not take this process lightly. It is time-consuming and requires a great deal of effort and dedication. In our contract, we have agreed to a classification hierarchy found in appendices E and F. The hierarchy defines the salary range placement and separation of classifications on the salary schedule. Appendix B defines the salary schedule and the pay differential between ranges and steps. I am confident you are aware the mandated minimum wage increased to $14 an hour. It is no secret this was going to happen. This legislation was signed into law and has been in place for 4 years and should have been planned for. Unfortunately, unlike other school districts in our area, we have pay ranges and positions that fall below the $14 per hour threshold. When the minimum wage of $14 per hour is applied to range 11, step 1 of the salary schedule, it causes the other ranges and steps to be in non-compliance of our agreement. The expectation is our agreement will be followed. CSEA understands compliance may be difficult. We come to the negotiating table well prepared for each solution opportunity. We roll up our sleeves and we're ready to find a reasonable and rational solution. In this case, we are not convinced this subject is being greeted with the same diligence. Initially, we presented a written proposal to spread the burden out over more than one budget year. Our phased implementation proposal meets the legal requirements for minimum wage while maintaining compliance with our contract. We are not willing to ignore, disregard, or otherwise delete a portion of our agreement because it's uncomfortable. Again, I stress our agreement was negotiated in good faith and subsequently agreed to by both parties. Each time a proposal is presented by CSEA, the response is, we will have to seek direction. This severely hinders the process. There is a considerable amount of time between meetings where direction is provided. I'm asking you to please provide direction and latitude to your appointed lead negotiator. Thank you for your time and have a peaceful evening.
Thank you for your comments. Avuda, is anybody here? This is from Apple Valley Unified School, or Unified Teachers Association. Thank you.
Is it Christine?
Good morning, good morning. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I want to start the day all over again, apparently. I'm here to speak on behalf of AVUSD's executive board. First, we would like to address the fact that the elementary school, sorry, I didn't print my speech out, so I have to read it. We're here to, let's see. AVUSD would like to address the fact that our elementary schools have received a daily planning period, and it is thanks to the hard work of ours and the district's negotiation teams with the school board's support. We would also like to thank the board for the bonuses and the one on the on-schedule 1% raise. We're looking forward to the continuing work towards a retirement package, as Joel Lewis spoke to earlier. AVUSD members are looking forward to our summer break and a normal return with full in-person learning with students for the 21-22 school year. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to move on to, I'm going to read out closed session here, and then we'll be moving forward here. So with that, the first item that we're going to read out is public employee appointment, resignation, retirement reduction. And that is to appoint Brian Goodrow as interim principal, Apple Valley High, range 16. And on a motion by Wilson So and a second by Dennis Bender, the motion was approved 5-0. In closed session, the Board of Trustees took action in support of the following recommendation. B4, Conference of Litigation Government Code Section 54954.5 subsection C and subsection D and E. On a motion by Wilson So and a second by Dennis Bender, we approve the contract with Stroh's Friedberg LLC dated March 17, 2021 regarding cybersecurity ratified May 6, 2021. The motion passed 5-0. In closed session, the Board of Trustees took action in support of the following recommendation from the superintendent. Conference with labor negotiator. On a motion by Opara and a second by Blassingame, the Board of Trustees approved the following. Approved to accept the current PARS supplemental retirement program for the certified and classified management employees who have submitted their resignations and PARS paperwork. The motion was passed 5-0. In closed session, the Board of Trustees took action in support of the following recommendations from the superintendent. B5, conference with labor negotiator. On a motion by So and a second by Blassingame, the board approved the Apple Valley Unified Teachers Association Memorandum of Understanding regarding elementary preparation period, mandatory staff meetings, and compensation dated April 20th, 2021. The motion passed 5-0. In closed session, the Board of Trustees took action in support of the following recommendation from the superintendent. B2, public employee discipline, release, reassignment, transfer, leave, certified and classified employees. On a motion by So and a second by Blassingame, board approved the last chance agreement between Apple Valley Unified School District and employee number 8548. The motion passed 5-0. And finally, in closed session, the Board of Trustees took action in the support of the following recommendation from the superintendent. B3, public employee appointment, resignation, retirement, reduction. On a motion by Blassingame and a second by Opara, the Board of Trustees approved the following. Appoint Steve Kalinich, I'm sorry if I got that name spelled said wrong, of Dean of Students, Sitting Bull Academy, range 7, column 1, on the management salary schedule at 190 duty days, to be effective 7/1 of 2021. Motion passed 5-0. Congratulations. Is he still in here?
Yeah, he isn't. He's not here.
Okay, you long gone. Okay, with that, that was what we approved in closed session. So I'm going to move on to item number 5, adopt agenda. The board may approve the agenda as is or add or pull items from consent agenda. Okay.
I'll second that.
Motion by Bander, second by Opara. Is there any opposition to the motion?
No.
Hearing none, the motion passes 5-0. Okay, moving right along. We have no recognition presentations, discussion information, presentation, local control, LCAP update by Patrick Slosser.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I would respectfully just ask the board if they would like to hear first from the students and families here. Is that something is that what you're thinking? It's item 2 in the same area.
Yeah, that's student.
The Sandia.
Let's do that.
We'll move on to the Sandia Academy mascot, Samantha.
And I'll just need the board streaming. Mr. Buchanan didn't be able to hit that. There it is. Okay.
Samantha Haskell, you're up. Thank you. She's from the Sandia Student Leaders.
Give me just a minute to get reset up here. I
Okay.
lost the stream.
I'd like to see the screen.
Okay, we'll turn you to the screen and then, Mr. Buchanan, I still have the wrong screen up. I can't see the code. Got it. Okay. Thank you. And
what technology do?
it's happening.
Okay.
Don't cross the streams. This is the advice I've been told. Okay. While we're waiting this for queue up, I'll just say that this presentation, you're going to hear everything you need to from our young lady, Samantha Haskell, but they're super excited about this presentation and been working really long and hard on a careful process to reconsider the mascot at Sandia School. So am I able to present? Okay. Okay, good. Take it away, Samantha.
Good evening, school board members, Mrs. Nelson, district administrators, and families. My name is Samantha Haskell, and it's my privilege to present to you tonight. Next slide. Okay. The first Sandia mascot was the Sidewinder from 1988 until approximately 2000. Then we became the Hedgehogs. When we first became the Hedgehogs, Sandia was a K-5 campus. But in 2015, we added middle school students. The staff has been working hard to create school pride in all students from preschool to 8th grade. However, middle school students still struggle to have Sandia pride no matter what we did to mature the Hedgehog. To align our vision, we want a mascot for all ages. Our current PBIS Hedgehog slogan is, "This is how we roll. Be safe, be respectful, be responsible." Changing the mascot lets the middle school students be able to feel pride in our school. It's hard to be excited about the Hedgehog, especially if you are going up the Falcons or the Bears. We want the community to see us presented by a strong mascot that makes a statement about our students, loyal, committed, and family pack focused, representing leadership characteristics. In preparation of this request, these are the steps we have taken to rebrand our mascot. In October, the staff agreed to survey the school to see if there was support for a change. In January, the students voted for a change of mascot and submitted their mascot suggestions. In February, students and staff voted to request a change to become the Wolves. In March, students submitted artwork designing our new logo. Here are a couple of quotes from students on why they believe the wolf is a great mascot choice. Personally, I believe the wolf is a great mascot because wolves are complex, highly intelligent animals who are caring, playful, and above all, devoted to family. Next slide.
Next one.
Yes, please. We worked with local artist Grace Bateman, who took components of several student designs to create our proposed logo. If you approve our change, our Sandia family can be represented by a wolf pack. Our elementary students would be the pups, our middle schoolers would be our strength, and the staff would be the wolf elders. Thank you so much for this opportunity and your time and consideration. The Sandia staff and students hope you will grant our request to change to the wolves.
Very good.
Thank you so much. Well done.
Good job. Thank you, Samantha. Good job. Thank you for the little mascot here. Appreciate it.
Excellent. Well done. And we'll pause for just a moment. If there's those of you here for that presentation, you're welcome to stay for the next one, but we're also, we'll give you a moment if you want to go out and study.
Good job, Samantha.
Thank you.
That's awesome too.
Great little presentation.
Yeah, that's not for Mr. Never mind.
Wow.
So great to have students presenting in front of us again. That's so good to see.
That's right.
I'm going to step us through just an update for our LCAP, which will actually be coming back to you shortly, but I wanted to give you a note on the progress we've made so far. We are in this moment we are always in the process of either developing or implementing our LCAP. Where we are right now is in the space I've left between April and June. We don't actually have anything we have to do in May, but May is a good time to check back in with you. We have done all those steps. The fall was tough because we didn't have a lot of data this fall because of the way school year ended. But we did meet with our district advisory committee throughout the spring. And in June, we will be bringing a plan to you first for a hearing and then approval. And so the way we engaged our stakeholders this year, we actually met with them 4 times, all virtually. And we did lots of surveying to gather ideas, input, and information. And all those meetings across January, February were presenting data and information. And then March and April had to do with draft plans and bringing proposals back to them for consensus. The surveys, just a look over time at the number of participants in the various surveys. Parent surveys were about the same, as a little bit down from years past, which was good. Students a little bit lower as well. But classified and certificated engagement was way up. And that was a testament, an appreciation to the CSEA and AVUTA leadership. They did a wonderful job of getting that word out, which means that the LCAP reflects more accurately their desires. And the kind of data that we did have to share, because of course we had no test data from the California exams last year. We didn't take them. But we do have a graduation rate. We had data around college and career readiness, suspension rate from the year before. We did look carefully at subgroups and really dove into that work in those meetings. And of course, we looked at the survey results on a variety of topics and took a careful look at coaching impact, our instructional coaching efforts. And then we asked them this question. This was in the third meeting after presenting quite a bit of information. We asked, given the data they'd seen, what did they want to see in a plan? And we got 60 of the participants to give us 79 different thoughts with almost 2,000 interactions with those thoughts, meaning they ranked them, with a kind of 1 to 5, right? Giving information about that. And just to take a look at the ideas that came out, this Wordle represents the themes that were most frequently mentioned. And you can see that isn't this a reflection of this year, right? What did they think needed to be in the plan? Paying attention to emotional health, a need for counselors and counseling, addressing the trauma, and making sure that we were paying attention to the needs of the children as they return to school full time. I got to tell you, another way to look at this is this slide here. And what this is the parents, the various constituent groups across the bottom, parents, site administrators, teachers, and other community members who are in the meeting. And on the right-hand side, that axis is the topics that were of most importance to them. And mental health and mental health supports was number 1. And so when I go through the changes to the various goals, you're going to see action items focused on mental health, because it's in response to this desire of our community to attend to those needs, and so on down the list. And so drafting the plan, of course, you have to pay attention to the students, the unduplicated count of students who generate the supplemental and concentration grant funds. For us, that is about over 70% of our students who qualify as economically disadvantaged, English learners, or foster youth, only counting in one area or one time. We have to balance the ideas and themes from the stakeholders. We want to keep items from the previous plan that made good sense to keep. And then we have broad goals, 5 broad goals, and then action items within those goals. So goal 1, the changes here are in blue. We've always had this goal about making sure we had a focus on essentially professional learning, professional development for teachers and all instructional staff, including paraeducators. So to continue to focus on that with those changes, right? We want to consider the students in greatest need. We want to be inclusive of educational technology. Was the number 1 request for educational training from teachers was ed tech training. And of course, as I mentioned, the delivery of social emotional learning and attending to those needs. And so what changes for us in Goal 1 is really we're adding some stipended support positions, or rebranding our ed tech effort, run actually by Mr. Buchanan's department, where they work alongside Bethany Thompson as the teacher on assignment, as the coordinator of educational technology. And each site will have a digital learning specialist to support teachers in that effort. This will be a stipended position. And then we're also asking the instructional coaches to shift their work slightly to include a focus on educational technology as requested. For goal 2, this one for us has been about making sure that our curriculum provided access to a high quality 21st century experience. But we wanted to add that sentence there in blue, that this is what we proposed to the district advisory committee, to make sure that we had research-based programs that had an impact on the students in our unduplicated count. So let let me skip to the significant changes. We did consolidate all of the college readiness action items into one area. You're also going to see things like we're adding our name to a list for a grant called Gear Up, where kind of makes a tight link for students to San Bernardino, or Cal State University San Bernardino, starting with our 7th graders next year if we are granted the funds. We did add, using the expanded learning opportunity grant, we're going to be adding art instruction along with music in the before or after school setting. And then we wanted to make sure to bridge the access gap that is always present when we try to deliver either instruction virtually or even for homework. And so we continue to do that with things like access points, but actually reaching out to develop a wireless network, an LTE network that would be for our students and staff across Apple Valley. Goal 3 is really about student support. It's where you'll see the most of the items we mentioned in that wordle that really show up in item 3. The significant changes here aren't to the language of the broad goal, but to the specific items. So we will be having targeted reading programs at all sites. Many have them already. Not all sites were able to fund them, however, with their categorical dollars. So we're going to make sure they're able to do that. We're going to add 2 full-time therapists or clinical counselors, actually the job description, at the comprehensive high schools. This is in order to bridge the need from an immediate kind of critical care need till we can get them into a long-term situation with a counselor, perhaps through the SELPA or through their insurance. Apple Valley High School has been kind of piloting that this year and found a real need for that. And I know that all the high school administrators support this need. We'll be hiring social emotional learning focused staff members to make sure and lead that effort so that we have a focus on that. And so we'll be posting those positions as certificated positions. Additional classified staff, behavior intervention technicians, it was approved last year. We now will use funding in this focus goal to bring those on board, get them trained. So every site will have a behavior intervention technician, at least one. Classified staff member to work under the BCBAs to work on student intervention for behavior. And then the group did elect to maintain class size reduction. Goal 4 has been completely changed to being a basic services goal to be a family-focused goal, another real need of the group. And so really what we're going to do there is we'll be adding a family center coordinator. We moved some of the goals into one area. What we have for the 5th family center coordinator is someone who will be staffed here, because the kitchen here, actually in this building, has been sort of taken over and remodeled. The Child Welfare and Attendance Office has won a grant that has allowed us to have this remodeled to be a food pantry for the community. It's just awesome. We'll figure out a way to walk you through there maybe before the next board meeting while it's still light. It's quite a work in progress. They've done a wonderful job. And finally, goal 5 is focused on our English learners. Not much change there other than we are proposing another stipended position at each school site, English language development specialist, who will be charged with being a champion for the English learners at that site, in addition to the classified staff who already work in that capacity, to make sure teachers know who the English learners are and what the needs are of those students, and to help with the testing requirements. So what we did is we proposed the plan and we asked the group to vote. You see the rubric up there. We asked them to give us either a 5, 4, 3, 2, or 1 as described, a 5 being what we were hoping for. And of course, if there was any 1, we would come back and we would discuss. So we put it to a vote, and I took a screenshot of the consensus, kind of small there, but we had all 5 4s and a few 3s and only 1 2. So we had 98% consensus, just about the best consensus we probably had for an LCAP. It was a great group. When I put a thought exchange up about what they thought about the plan, we saw things like, "Thank you for hearing us." It was a good process. So that was the LCAP. Quite quickly, just a couple of slides to give you a preview of the expanded learning opportunity grant. I do have a thought exchange running currently on that, so you can join that there. And anyone here will post this for the world. And we're getting, so far we've got 114 participants, and as you can see, lots of ratings and interactions with those thoughts. This is an expanded learning for the summer to come, the next school year, and the summer after. And so this is what we're hearing. And that's no surprise, is it? Do fun things this summer. And so you should see the kinds of offerings that are happening this year for summer school. It is not your typical summer school offerings. There's all kinds of camp-like fun activities being offered to students to bring them back to school and kind of enjoy school again in a positive way. The plan has these 7 requirements. I won't read them to you. I'll be bringing a plan to you in this exact template on the next meeting because it's due to the county by June 1st. However, we have great flexibility in moving things if we need to adjust for our students. Reminder is for this summer and next, and all of next school year, there is a specific set aside in the ELO for paraprofessionals. So it's a 10% of the grant. And so we will be making sure to put those funds as intended. And starting right away in summer, we'll be adding paraeducators into the summer school offering so we can get that ratio of students to adults down. So a quick glance at the ELO and a long glance at the LCAP. Thank you for indulging me. That's all I have.
Thank you. Is there more, Pat?
That's it.
Okay, well, this was just an update. No action needed, so we'll move on to public comments. We have a couple of requests to speak cards. So first up is Rochelle Arias. You're up.
Wonderful program. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Rochelle Arias. I am the mother of 2 students in Apple Valley Unified School District. I'm here today to ask that you consider making masks optional for the upcoming school year. I know this school year was full of a lot of unknowns, and I'm glad that we were able to get back to in-person school, even if it was only hybrid. But with the upcoming school year being full-time and our county very close to reaching the minimal yellow tier, I believe it is time to remove the masks. Kids need to be able to see their peers and teachers. Excuse me. They need to be able to breathe properly while learning and playing. By using masks, we are training our kids to detach from normal, relational, and social skill building. The negative impacts of not seeing your teacher smile when you solve the hardest math problem is devastating to our kids. Children are not carriers of this virus, and wearing the mask for a 6.5-hour full day of school is harming to them in more ways than one. I read this quote from a school psychologist the other day, and I want to leave you with it. Quote, "The psychological damage of teaching school kids that other people and kids are dangerous to them unless they are masked and distanced from them is a ticking mental health time bomb. The loss of a year of normal socialization and future impact will be enormous," end quote. This really hit hard for me, and I hope it opens your eyes to the fact that we need to make masks optional for our kids. I also hope that this opens up a discussion on this issue between you all and that we can see it on the agenda at an upcoming meeting. These students are counting on you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Rochelle, for the good comments there. Appreciate it. We have another request to speak, and that is Jessica Cooley.
Sorry, I guess I should have chosen to sit closer. My name is Jessica Cooley. I'm a high school English teacher at Apple Valley High School. I'm also the high school segment director. And when I volunteered to speak for AVUSD for Christy, I misunderstood her instructions. And so I wrote a kind of I'm happy we're back kind of speech, and it's good enough. I thought I'd share it anyway. So that's what I'm sharing now. This is from my perspective as a high school teacher. And in March 2020, on Friday the 13th, no less, we took a collective breath as we left our classrooms. It feels like we've been holding our breath ever since, waiting to exhale in relief as we're able to take steps closer to normal. There have been bumps in the road this last year due to the COVID pandemic. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Many of our professional conversations have broken down into tears. More tears than collectively we ever shed as first-year teachers. When the elementary school started working towards in-person return, I know the high school and middle school grades were watching enviously and with hope that we might get to do that too. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. With the holiday spikes, it felt like the ability to return was slipping through our fingers, and many of us began to consider what the end of the school year would look like if the second wave continued to grow, much like the first one did over summer. Then suddenly in February, we were able to take a collective breath and exhale. Superintendent Nelson, I want to thank you for your leadership in getting Apple Valley Unified School District employees vaccinated and back on site. Watching other districts, it is clear that you are committed to get our students back in the classroom. Once the vaccinations were complete, the entire vibe within the district changed. There are no more tears. Everyone I've spoken to is excited. Every day it feels like the first day of school again. You get to see people, everyone's eyes light up. You can't see their smiles, but you can see them through their eyes. There are stories about students. The teachers are excited about their work, their lessons. They're talking about them, collaborating. It is so good to see everyone again. Thank you.
Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Jessica. Okay, moving right along. Janae, do you have any comments you'd like to make?
Yeah, thanks, Jessica. There's still tears. I'm crying right now, but thank you. And I want to talk for a few minutes while there is public here, because if we go into second close, the comments after.
No, I think we should
yeah.
get through that.
So first of all, I'd like to thank Ms. Okpara and Jason for working really hard to be able to bring her into this meeting. She is in Texas with her for the birth of her grandson that was born on 4/29. So she's there being grandma, but took the time out to be at our meeting in this fashion. As Mr. Schlosser indicated, we have the food pantry that was put together through No Kid Hungry, California, a grant that was supplied. And tomorrow, May 7th, is the annual School Lunch Hero Day. And now more than ever, I can't express what heroes they are. They have been nonstop through the pandemic feeding our community, not just our students, but our community. And so I wanted to let you guys know that tomorrow there's a huge campaign by No Kid Hungry California. They sent every food service director in the state of California a little thing for their desk that indicates that they are Meal Heroes 2021. Ms. Stark knows that it's here tonight. She knows that we were going to talk about it. I told her she could watch it streaming. They will do a campaign showing all of our nutrition service workers with a hashtag that follows so that it gets tagged with the entire state of California celebrating these people. We have been out on campuses all month doing longevity awards because May is Staff Appreciation Month. And we have indicated that all staff should be getting a 7-year award this year because of the one dog year they just finished or are about to finish. It's been rewarding to be out there to see them in person, and as we're out there, we get to see students as well. I was overjoyed yesterday as I was driving past Apple Valley High School. Although there was traffic, there were students picking up caps and gowns, and I know it was happening on the other side of town. AP testing has students competing to get college credit during an exam that takes place once a year, and you heard our students talk about it when they were doing their reports. Granite Hills High School has earned a 2021 California Exemplary Arts Education for their Great Academy. This has happened in a very short time. It's a short list from the state, and they are overwhelmed, as is our county. This was sent out as a press release, and we're just so proud of the group there that had the vision to put it in place and then went after the different credentials they needed in order to make it happen. I see Ms. Stewart in the audience, and she was one of the ones that championed this. And likewise, on the same day, we were notified about students that were being highlighted for valedictorian and Dominic Kumo. While we were in the meeting, I got a text message from our town manager, Doug Robertson, who was telling me that the NBC News had covered Dominic Kumo. He has Lou Gehrig's disease, was, I think, the youngest person ever identified with it, and has just done major accomplishments. So he's one of the 13 at Apple Valley High School that has earned that accolade. And then I just want to point out that it's hard when we do a readout from closed session and their staff is in the audience finding out that there is a change of leadership. But I do appreciate that Mr. Goodrow will be moving to Apple Valley High School. Ms. Howell is in the audience. We appreciate her dedication to the school for the last 5 years, and we celebrate your next steps. Mr. Kalinich moving to Dean, so there's going to be lots of moves over the course of the next several weeks. We've got 3 board meetings left, and I'm hopeful that we can get all of those dominoes in place. And then finally, Ms. Arias with the comments about the masks. I appreciate the comments. We will continue to advocate for the most normal setting we can have. As you know, the laws come from a different location. We follow what we are dictated by the state of California and by the county of San Bernardino. And so we are following those every single day to see if there's going to be a change. And we will continue to update you. And I would love to have your information to be able to provide to the supervisors down in San Bernardino County. And I can get you in touch with them as well, because they actually have a little bit more pull on pushing on the regulations. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Trinae. Board member comments. Adeline.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you to all the teachers and staff. This is your week, and I have been privileged to attend the longevity presentations with Cabinet. And my hats are off to every one of you, especially in these times, to put forth the efforts that you have to make sure our children get the best education that they could possibly have. I'd also like to thank the young ladies on their reports this evening. I had the privilege of attending AV's recital, their last recital, and I just want to commend the instructors that put that together, because if you haven't seen it, you need to watch the next one or the next 2 or 3 that are coming, because it is just outstanding how they are able to put that recital together through their homes. You know, it is virtual. So my comments to the instructors that have to put in a lot of effort, and the students who put in even more effort to get such a perfect program together. So.
Good. Thank you, Adeline. Wilson.
Well, I have a couple quick comments, and Superintendent shared with us about the interview by NBC, and I did share with her I was touched by this student because many years ago, I watched a movie by Gary Cooper and Teresa Wright on the famous Yankee with this terrible disease. But I think we should send a congratulatory note to the parents. So, outstanding job they did. Another thing that I watched on TV recently is that there are a lot of negative comment about education overall in the United States. And it is tragic if indeed we are falling behind. You know, there's concerns about we falling behind even on reading and on math, particularly math, to China and Russia and some of the other countries. And so whatever success we have, and I was going to say, we need to, I'm sure the county superintendent is working closely with us. I have been serving on the county association for 26 years now, on many committees. So we need to kind of spread that positive note to all students in California. We want everyone to be successful. And then the comment from my parents about masks. And in fact, I've been watching a lot of comment TV news from different doctors. You know, like this morning I watched a doctor from my school, Stanford University Medical School, about, hey, he doesn't say we don't read. If the kids are vaccinated, if the teachers are vaccinated, maybe the mask is not necessary because it creates a lot of negative impact on students. You saw on TV that news that high school girl, because the mask didn't allow her to breathe properly, she felt she had to dash the last 10 yards to achieve the number one position. You probably saw it on TV. These are the concerns that we as board members, as parents, and grandparents, we're concerned. How does the mask impact our little kids? So it is a valid concern. I just want to point that out. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you, Wilson. Dennis?
Yeah, I'm going to expedite this. I'm going to make this short. I enjoy the input from the association leaders, but I especially enjoy the input from the young lady there. Let's get our kids out of Halloween every day. Get rid of these masks, and that's what we all do. I agree with you. I got 7 grandkids, and I don't do it in 30 days. It's not working.
Okay, thanks, Dennis. Maria, can you hear us? You're up.
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
I'd like to take the opportunity to state how appreciative I am of the teachers, since this is the Teacher Appreciation Week. Once you're a teacher, you're always a teacher. So I have been a teacher most of my life, and I do truly appreciate the work they are doing, and how resilient they have been through this whole year of the pandemic. I also like to appreciate the classified staff for rolling up their sleeves when they were needed, and they gave us the very best. For the graduating class of 2021, I must say I am truly proud of all of you for holding down the fort and doing the best you can. And congratulations to Granite Hills High School for the award of excellence. At a time like this, you still stuck it out and gave us excellent work to be recognized outside of Apple Valley School District. To the valedictorian, I have to say you overcame obstacles. My background is in special education, so I am truly, truly proud that you did not let any disability stop you from reaching the top of the pole. Ms. Howe, I have to say, I wish you nothing but the best. You have given us your best, and all we can ask for is the best for you. Thank you so much for your year of service with us. Sandia School, you are the school of choice for me. My 5 children went through, my 3 children went through Sandia School from 1988. And then they went on to Apple Valley Junior High, then Apple Valley High School. So I'm truly proud of the work you have done to create a mascot that envelops every part of school. Thank you so much, Ms. Nelson, for keeping us up to date on what is happening in the district. And I wish you all the very best. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. Just real briefly here, as we move into full-time in the next year, it's going to take the parents that come here and speak, and throughout the county, and throughout the state for that matter, to really make a change in on some of these school districts. It's going to take political pressure to keep the schools open and to get rid of the masks if that's the direction that the parents want to go. So I commend, Rochelle for coming here speaking about this. It's not an easy thing to do to get up in front and talk. We know that, and it's heartwarming to see that there are parents out there, and that I think this entire board agrees with you on that, and because we all have either children or grandkids in the school district, and it is psychologically not healthy for the kids. With that said, too, I'd like to thank the school teachers association, because we've all heard and read where other districts, the teachers are pushing back very hard to just go back to full time. In Apple Valley, we had none of that, and we had cooperation, which made it a lot easier for Trinae and her staff to get things open. So with that, everybody have a great rest of their evening, and we'll move on. So we have no special meetings at this time. So we'll move on to approval of consent agenda 1 through 18.
Actually, we're on discussion action session. They're each have to be motioned individually, and then because there's individual.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I jumped way ahead.
That's okay. You turned the page too fast.
That's right. We
Dennis
miss
is kicking me under the table here saying, move the darn meeting along.
We know that's his role. It's all good.
It's going to get real boring from here on, so you want to go.
Okay. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees discuss and take action on the following items. Approve the certificated and classified personal actions as listed.
So move.
Second.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion by second by Blassingame. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, motion passes 5-0. Number 2, approve the recommendation of the administrative hearing chairperson on the following discipline matters effective immediately. Annual review AR 3536, 2021, to be readmitted to the Alpha Valley Unified School District. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion, we approve it.
Okay, motion Bender. Do we have a second?
Maria.
I do.
Okay, Opara. Okay. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, that will be so ordered 5-0.
Aye.
Okay. Number 3, approve the requested leaves as noted. Adopt the resolution.
Did we,
We have a motion to approve requested leaves as noted.
Mr. Raleigh, did we have to do a vote separately on each of
sorry, I can't
the
hear
ARs? We only did one AR, correct?
No, I did
You did all the ARs.
36
You need to
and
do A1.
35.
You
He
did
did
them
them as
together?
one motion together.
Okay, so you
And that's
approved
okay.
both. Okay,
Okay.
We did that.
sorry.
That's okay. I read it out, 35 and 36.
Okay,
Okay.
I apologize.
That's okay. Okay, so we are at number 3, approve the requested leaves as noted. Do we have a motion?
I move you give the request.
I'll second it.
Para and Bender. Is there any opposition to the motion?
Yeah, Dennis, Maria and
That'd be
Dennis.
the order. 5-0. Okay, number 4, adopt resolutions 2021, 2022, authorizing issuances of 2021, 2022 tax and revenue anticipation notes for the Alpha Valley Unified School District, and requesting the Board of Supervisors of San Bernardino County to issue said notes.
So move.
Second.
I second.
Okay, motion, so second Blassingame. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, that'll be the order, 5-0. Okay, now on to consent. Number J, letter J, it is recommended that the Board of Trustees consider approving consent items 1 through 18. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
I move that we accept all the consent items.
Motion Blassingame, second Para. Is there any opposition to the motion? Hearing none, that'll be the order, 5-0. Okay. No items pulled. And do we have any more public comments, Kylie?
We do not.
No? Okay.
We don't-
Any other
no
comments
staff.
from the superintendent?
No, but we do have a second closed
I
session.
know, I'm getting to that.
Getting there.
Yeah, any more board comments?
Better not.
Okay.
Good job. Good.
Okay, closed session continuation. We have a motion to go back into closed session.
I move to go.
So moved.
Okay,
Second.
we all approve? Okay,
Aye.
that'll be the order. We'll go back into closed session at 7:23.
Take me with you.
Would that speak over there?
You're good. You're good, Russ.
Okay, we're back from closed session, back in open session. We just have one more item. Is there any future items that somebody would like to bring forward for a future agenda item? No? All right. Okay, our next board meeting will be Thursday, May 20th at 5:30 in the multipurpose room. And with that, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Let's get out of here.
All right. Any opposition to the motion? Okay.
Who's second?
Who seconded the motion?
Adeline, hand up,
All
okay.
right, here we go.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we're adjourned at 7:52.
Thank you.
Do we have anything to sign,
The
Kylie?
20th, May 20th.
Yes.